here at Tanzania, I've seen you publish the 5 reasons for apple farming, different 5 reasons for apple farming. So, reason number 1, sales prices are high and apple can be sold directly by the farmer. You tell us why is that?
Yes, sales prices are high. Because if it is Kenya, if it is Uganda, if it is Nigeria, all apples are imported. The East African community is importing 400 to 500 million US dollars, even though we can produce them here. Yeah, so importing something is very expensive, especially via cold chain. So the cost associated reflects in a high sales price. If it's Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, everywhere, apples are sold for a high price. Yeah, so the prices anyway, it's super high. When we are saying it can be sold directly by farmers, you see many farmers are growing in East Africa tea, avocado, macadamia, whatever kind of stuff, yeah? It's always an export crop. So it's actually never the farmer who makes the money because it's the trader. An apple can be sold directly by a farmer. You see them here at the road, you see them in other cities in Tanzania. Farmers are selling directly, so it's wonderful.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah. And we go to reason number 2. Water requirements are lower than many other tree crops. Why is that so? The apple.
You know, apples they come from the northern or the southern side of the planet, and they are used to a winter, right? Where it's getting very cold, the tree is losing all its leaves, so the tree is going into a dormancy phase, which is like a sleeping phase. And so here, for example, in Tanzania, we are the first 2 years, when it's a small tree, we are watering constantly, but then later on, here in Tanzania, in May, June, July, August, we don't irrigate. The tree even does not want to have irrigation. And irrigation is expensive, so farmers save a lot of money. Yes.
You have said you water constantly before 2 years.
The first 2 years?
First 2 years of the tree.
The first 2 years we...
So how is that? Don't you have a ratio? Maybe weeks or...
Mostly, depends if it is a small-scale farmer who is doing hand watering, or if we're doing it with drip irrigation. Small-scale farmers, they mostly irrigate 2 times per week by hand.
Okay.
Yeah. And the beauty is, after year 2,
you can just leave it.
on a commercial player would probably still install irrigation, which we recommend. But a small-scale farmer would probably not irrigate. Yeah?
And the production will be the same, or
it's not the same, no.
Okay.
No, it's still good, but you will definitely, it has an economical advantage to install irrigation. Yeah?
Okay.
So for all big-time players, 1,000, 5,000 trees.
We need to install irrigation for economic purpose.
Yeah, but I mean, see, a small-scale farmer who has 50 or 100 trees, they will never install irrigation.
Yeah, sure.
But it's still good. It's still, the per hectare return is still far higher than all other crops.
Okay, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And also, you have mentioned about diversification of income and higher climate change resilience. So you tell me why that?
Diversification of income, you know it from farmers, right? If you have a bad crop from one thing, the saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket, counts for farming as well. Yeah? So generally having different crops can have advantages. When it comes to increasing the resilience of farmers, that's number 1, against climate change. And because apple trees need lesser water than many other tree crops. And number 2, when it actually comes to resilience of the market. Imagine there's we have seen in the last years, a lot of disruptions of global trade. If that was a COVID, if that was, a war or whatever, what happened with farmers who are producing an export crop? Right? The beauty of apples is you can produce it locally and sell it locally for a high price. And so even if there are global disruptions of trade, export, import, fuel prices are increasing, small-scale farmers here in Tanzania or Kenya or DRC, they won't be affected by it. It's beautiful, eh?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm interested in diversification. So can farmer know how will they, maybe can apple be combined with other crops like?
Very much like...
Like avocado?
Yeah, we don't recommend to plant them in the same field. Because avocado you have to irrigate constantly, which is expensive. Yeah. While your field with apples, you don't have to irrigate for a long time. So it's in terms of cost. Yeah, but many small-scale farmers, they're actually planting apples, and the first 2, 3, 4 years, they're anyway planting maize,
Okay,
pumpkin,
maize
and whatever in
or
between.
vegetables like
Yeah.
spinach. Or,
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you, David. And also here I've seen about apple trees live over 100 years, providing secure income for generations. You explain about that.
Apples get over 100 years old. Yeah? If you plant an apple tree, the grandchildren of your grandchildren's grandchildren can still harvest from them.
Okay.
Yeah,
So if I have my farm, then my granddaughter or children can have.
they will think about you, even though you're not there anymore.
Okay, that's good, that's good. Okay, last, Tamtam Tanzania has well adapted varieties and is an off-taker of fresh apples.
Yes, we have done the research, which varieties are actually working. We know which varieties are working around the equator in Africa, if it is Cameroon, if it is DRC or Tanzania or Rwanda. And when it comes from all our customers who are buying trees from Nigeria, sorry, I will not buy your apples, you're too far away. But here in Tanzania, we are working on being off-taker for apples. We have bought the last 2 years several truckloads of apples, but as we have now just finished our state-of-the-art, comes from Europe, cold room, we can now off-take more and more and more apples. We want to buy the apples, we want to sell fresh apples, we want to replace imports, and we're making juice, cider. You have already tried our dried apples, our apple snacks.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. We, to be honest, we have not achieved last year or this year to be off-taker from all apples. Yeah, but we will in the coming weeks. Yeah, you will see every week several trucks arriving here every week from different districts and regions in Tanzania.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you, David. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.